Hi, it's Lee, and welcome to the Tesla Economist. How is it possible the market can be so clueless? Don't they want easy money by investing in Tesla? Well, who are the people analysing Tesla and investing in the company? Well, we have fund managers. What do? They focus on a portfolio. Hey, if I started a fund management of my own, it would be very basic, just Tesla stock. So there wouldn't be much point in you investing in my fund, as you could invest in Tesla yourself without my commission. Although perhaps I could start a Tesla Leaps fund. Maybe that'd be different. But I don't think I could handle the stress of potentially losing people money. It would probably keep me awake at night. Therefore, these fund managers or ETF managers have to have a diversified portfolio of perhaps even a dozen or so stocks. I probably spend about 60 hours a week just on Tesla. But 12? No, not 12. Try more like over 100 for the likes of Wedbush Securities, or about 30 for Gerber Kawasaki, or 33 for Gary Black's Future Fund, or 131 for ARK Invest's ETFs holdings. Okay, we should give Cathie Wood some credit though for being the only analyst remotely close to estimating the success of Tesla. However, that was all based on Tesla's robotaxis. Tesla made it much bigger than ARK ever thought, and earlier, and without robotaxis. But she was still a good cheerleader for us back then. She was also a good cheerleader for Bitcoin too. Also, when these people are talking, they're likely motivated by their own self-interest too. They're saying things to boost their portfolio so they can hit their targets. 79% of fund managers even underperform the S&P last year, which is why if you actually want a diversified fund, it makes sense just putting it into an S&P index. The odds are definitely stacked against you. I mean, you'd think statistically even half of them could beat the S&P. And some of them even have the audacity to think they know how Tesla should be run better than Elon, despite what little time they have to concentrate on Tesla relatively compared to the rest of their portfolio. Or they have a better idea of the EV industry than Elon, an entire industry that Elon pretty much carved out himself, working over 100 hours a week at times, yet people who clearly don't understand the industry as well say things like Elon should make a regular pickup truck, despite the Cybertruck having more pre-orders than any other vehicle in history. So be careful who you listen to, is all I'm saying. No offense to any of them, they're doing their thing and offering various ETFs that certain investors are looking for and contributing in their own ways. I mean, they're successful and wealthy. They're even on the mainstream media reporting. They're given a lot of authority. And hey, it's great for us to hear authoritative people talking positively about Tesla, especially given that they all pretty much have Tesla as their largest holding. But their authority doesn't give them more credibility than us retail investors. And these are the ones who actually have an invested interest in Tesla. Compare that to stock analysts who don't own any Tesla at all, yet still give buy or sell ratings. Just think how little relative research they've done and have to do this for perhaps 30 or 50 other companies. It's almost as irrelevant as a Moody's credit rating, yet people still care. So how can a fund manager have time and effort on a portfolio of 100 stocks and still be credible? Well, they hire stock analysts to give them all the information they require. But what are these analysts doing? Maybe some are actually dedicated to working on Tesla full time. But these are employees, maybe earning a decent salary and intelligent with the necessary qualifications. And their background is finance and economics perhaps. And they went and got a job at one of these fund management companies and then got arbitrarily assigned the task of focusing on Tesla. They work there 40 hours a week or so, or perhaps more, and take breaks, but they are employees doing a job with minimal incentive, at least compared to their counterparts, the retail investors. Now, who are these people? What's their interest? They are you and me, people who are absolutely passionate about this product, company, and CEO, who eat up every little bit of information there is. We talk about it with each other and share as much information with each other as possible, and do research in all our areas and love sharing with the rest of the community, even just to get more likes or followers, not necessarily even monetarily motivated. They just want their kudos, to be acknowledged in the industry or community. Do you think the likes of Cathie Wood can be seen asking us retail investors questions about Tesla? No, they have to act as if they know it all already. They can't be seen as humble. They have to make their investors think they know everything, have insider information, and are confident about all their investments in order to get customers. Hey, You'll see me on Twitter happily asking people for more information, because you know what? I can admit that I was not someone who was simply born with all the answers. And if I see someone more credible than me on a certain topic, I'm going to ask them about things I don't know. Same with comments on YouTube. You'll see me interact with many of you there too. For example, I don't know the most about batteries in the world, but I'm always keen to know more. However, some retail investors actually do so much work on researching Tesla that they're able to afford to do it full time, as they have so many followers or Patreon supporters, and it's so encouraging and motivating for them that they can't stop. And like I said, it's their passion. What is a Tesla stock analyst doing for a fund manager? The boring usual stuff. Whereas our community are always trying to look at new angles outside the box, and due to it being such a great community, we can talk to real specialists who have the same passion as us, except they specialized in certain fields. Like AI specialists, who are just so passionate and amazed by Tesla's AI technology. Or a battery specialist, who are just so amazed by Tesla's battery technology and expertise. Or car manufacturing specialists, who are just so amazed by Tesla's car manufacturing and productivity. Or economist specialists, who are just so amazed by Tesla's sheer economics and potential finances. Not only that, a lot of these passionate fanboys, if you like, well, they really, really believe in what they're seeing in their research. So much so that they're also all in on Tesla stock, which means they also have plenty of skin in the game compared to some stock analyst employee who likely doesn't have enough invested that they will likely be able to retire in the next few years if Tesla triples. Their job is just to find ways of valuing Tesla for the investors in the fund to make it look attractive to invest in said fund, not Tesla the company itself. It's still marketing. These analysts simply can't compete with Tesla retail investors. And sure, there were a lot of investors in Apple passionate about the company and the visionary leader, but come on, it's not anywhere near as exciting as the mission that Tesla is pursuing. The company that revolutionized the world to levels that were previously unimaginable, making the world much more lower cost with more affordable transportation, reducing pollution, reversing potential climate change, and creating a sustainable world for future generations. Oh yeah, and doing this by inventing some absolutely insanely fun products, like the quickest cars in the world. Or are we arrogant to think we know better than these people? Hey, they go on national TV, wear expensive suits, and some are even billionaires. Who are us mere mortals in comparison? We're the heart of the investment community. We have a secret. We know Tesla will be big. Although we are happy to share this secret with whomever will listen to us, we try not to be too complacent either. We don't laugh and mock bears who have any counter-arguments. We talk with them, hear them out. We're somewhat of the mindset that this is almost too good to be true. What are we missing? This seems like too easy money. If it was this good, then wouldn't Warren Buffett invest too? Why would the almighty Bill Gates short Tesla? What do these richest men in the world know that we don't? But we band together and look at it all together and come to the same conclusions. We know something they don't. Or perhaps we just understand it different. Maybe our brains are wired different. We seem to have similar sense of humours. Perhaps it's our personality types. However, we can just lay it out very simple. Tesla has a ton of demand. Tesla are expanding production to try and cater to this demand. Tesla has a massive profit margin. Tesla is reducing production costs continually. Tesla has no competition. Therefore, Tesla can maintain said margins. Or even worst case scenario, drop the prices slightly to increase demand if necessary for further expansion, but still remain highly profitable, yet further increasing economies of scale at the same time. This expansion will only add further to profits, and the expansion is not going to stop for some time. Even if Tesla is thought of as a luxury brand, then don't you think it will still beat the likes of BMW or Mercedes on sales, perhaps at 3 or 4 million sales a year? That's enough alone to double the stock price with a low PE ratio. Then we think about the energy business, which is a license to print a product that saves people money. It's purely a product that offers anyone who buys it perhaps a 25% return on investment eventually. All of this builds up further passion, which adds to motivation and collective knowledge in all areas of the business. For example, look how much we all know about how batteries work. Well, iPhones have batteries in them too. Do you think the typical Apple investor even knows what a cathode or anode is? Let alone how the actual electrons pass through, or how the lithium is refined. This community cares about every single in-depth element of Tesla to an almost absurd level, yet we can't get enough of it. Do you really think these bears who doubt Tesla have been anywhere near this deep into analysing the company? No, it's the bulls, especially the ones with millions of dollars invested. They can justify the effort, and with that much skin in the game, it's a lot more exciting. When Tesla's stock price doubles, they get a lot bigger bonuses than some stock analyst, who might just end up with a promotion if they're lucky, whereas we end up with a pretty sweet early retirement. But the problem is, a lot of retail investors still measure their success in the actual stock price. The stock price gets very confused, especially for all the reasons I've mentioned. Then it gets even more distracted by the media. The mainstream media is incredibly inaccurate on how they report Tesla. They're doing what they can to get clicks. If a fund managed with millions or even billions invested in Tesla doesn't understand the stock as well as us, then do you think a reporter will? Do you think they even care? And then people who read said articles will love to tell you how bad Tesla's doing, or how crazy the CEO is in charge of your retirement. They almost take pleasure in telling you what is actually happening with Tesla, as they heard it reported by a talking head on national TV. And who are you to think you know any better than them? Of course, I myself have had many instances like this, and you can only imagine the look on these people's faces after I've explained to them exactly what's going on. They tend not to have too much to say after that. It's not their research. They're just parrots. Don't let anyone distract you from your conviction. One of my wife's cousins is high up in JP Morgan, and he was telling me that Tesla's going bankrupt. This is when Tesla was the equivalent of $16 post-split prices. I heard out all his reasons, and they were wrong. My wife's uncle too, a reputable economist on the board of a few companies. I picked him up from the airport one time and heard out his opinion on Tesla. Tesla doesn't have demand. They don't make profits without regulatory credits. Admittedly, by the time we reached his destination, he'd certainly changed his tune. Whereas I'm just like most of you, except I likely have a lot more time to invest into researching Tesla. I do whatever I can to remain objective. I think there's a good chance that may not be 100% possible. I'm still content with this as a great investment, even if dry battery electrodes don't work or FSD never happens. I'm not gambling on those things happening, but if they do, one of them will triple the stock price and the other will add a zero to the end. So it's certainly nice to have that hope still. It's like the lottery ticket that never expires. Anyway, it's like I say, take truth as authority, not authority as truth. Thanks for listening. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter and talk to me on Patreon.